Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, World of Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Emil 1951, the Tier 8 Swedish Premium Heavy Tank. Now, I do want to throw there as a disclaimer right before I break down into this vehicle's stats after the new changes in Update 7.5. This is not actually in my garage. This is just a modded skin over my Kronwagen. So all the statistics and everything like that you're seeing is just the stats changed in-game to make it look like I actually own the vehicle, but keep in mind that this is not actually the tank in my garage. I'm not breaking any rules. This isn't testing. This is just me modding a skin, so it's completely fair under the EULA. Now, the Emil 1951 is a vehicle that Wargaming was supposed to release 2 times now. It was first of all supposed to release, I think, about almost a month ago, and all of us YouTubers were getting ready for it. Now, of course, I have been told by a lot of people, because I've got some people that were able to data mine. They know when the dates were supposed to be released. Even Meadsy knew that the release date was supposed to be then, and it just never came out, which is, of course, a bit of a shame, because I really wanted to get my hands on this vehicle. Now, unfortunately, it was going to be in crates, but then Wargaming decided we're going to put it in the Blitz Fair. They hadn't changed any stats on it at that time. I think they just lowered the top speed by 5, but then they were putting it in the Blitz Fair, which, of course, if you would have seen my Blitz Fair drop chances video where we had all of those numbers out, the Emil 1951, I think, was a 4 or 5% drop chance in the snow globe, which I was also kind of dreading, because while the AMX was a guaranteed drop chance, the Emil was not. But it looks like now that once again the drop chances for the Emil have been removed from the snow globes and replaced with the SU 130 PM, as the Blitz data logs say. So unfortunately, we will not be seeing the Emil 1951 this Blitz Fair, probably coming out maybe a week or 2 weeks later. I think the reason for that being, well, it's not think, but the main reason why it is apparently some of the Russian people, and I think some of the, as well, NA testers, not the testers, but some of the people that receive the tank, the CCs, before they were making their videos on them, they test them, of course. They get it, I think, 3 days ahead of time. And one of the YouTubers, to what I've been told, has contacted Wargaming and told them it was such an overpowered vehicle, they were actually able to persuade Wargaming to not release the tank because it is such a strong vehicle in the current state. Now, I completely agree with that decision. The Emil 1951 was pretty much the pre-nerfed Emil. As we know, the Emil got a little bit of nerf on the DPM, a big dispersion nerf. The dispersion went to 0.349. That's massive. Not only did the dispersion get nerfed, but the mobility. Well, the Emil 1951 had all of those things going for it. Not only did it have mobility, going 40 kilometers per hour forward, which it still has, goes 20 in reverse. So it's quick. It's got a good power to weight ratio. Not only that, but the gun was the same accuracy with the same damage per minute, but more standard pen, 241 if you're running calibrated, and 284 on the premium, which meant that any of the struggles the Emil had with the penetration, well, you can see that this vehicle doesn't have. It's got good gun depression, 10 degrees, good gun elevation at 14. Really, the Emil 1951 took away all of the weaknesses that the Emil 1 had. In fact, this thing had about a 20 millimeter stronger turret, but that has definitely changed in the recent patches for Blitz. The Emil 1951 not only got, I think, a little bit worse engine power, it also got a massive nerf to the armor. It went from 180 millimeters base on the turret to what you can see now as 160. That is a big nerf. That means that, yeah, this vehicle, it is hurting quite a bit. It's going to be very easy to penetrate through the well, let me fix that. Not easy, because the Emil 1, I'm not sure what the turret armor is, but yeah, it's 180. So actually, it seems to be that the turret on the Emil 1951 will be pennable by most premium rounds on the front of it, which of course is going to make it a lot weaker, especially against tier 8 opponents that normally wouldn't be able to pen it. So that's one thing that's going to make it very weak. Another big difference is that the Emil 1, the side armor is very thick, in fact 80 millimeters. The Emil 1951 trades off that side armor to be 35 millimeters thick when you take a look on the hull. That's very weak. That means that you're easily going to be penetrated not only by high explosives on the side, but as well pretty much any 150 or what is it, 35 millimeters 3. So I think any 105 or so should be able to overmatch it. Yes, no, it's not a 105. 105, of course, is the base armor. So any caliber over a 105 will be able to overmatch the side armor as long as you don't hit the tracks every single time. So a good example of what a 105 would be, well, the gun mounted on the Emil 1951 is a 105. So if you're dealing 400 average damage, which most 122s on the IS-5, the IS-6, the WT-112-2, all those vehicles are able to overmatch the side armor on this vehicle like butter. But again, hull down, this vehicle is going to be a beast. So I want to see how it performs when it comes into game, if it's going to be good or it's going to be bad. Now, as I said, I have no clue when the release date's going to be. I'm not a CC for Wargaming, and if I was, well, of course, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys. So that's one thing I always like to do. I respect Wargaming's rules. You know, I don't want to get my account banned or my YouTube account or YouTube channel jeopardized or a strike by breaking any rules. So I don't know when it's going to come out or anything else like that. But I do think the Emil is going to be an extremely strong vehicle, even with the nerfs. In fact, still an overpowered vehicle. It's got the gun, it's got mobility, and while it doesn't have as strong armor as the Emil 1, just having that mobility, I think it's going to make it so much stronger because you're actually able to push into position, especially after the nerfs to the Emil's power to weight. It's not slow. You can see it goes 35, and the power to weight of 13.4 isn't bad, but the Emil 1951s is still very impressive at 15.6 with a top speed of 40. So yeah, I think the Emil 1951 is still going to be a very, very strong vehicle. Not as strong as it was when it first came into the game, and the first testers were, of course, using it, which we had the stats on Blitzhanger, but we're going to see what happens. So I can tell you, I think this is the state that it will be coming out to Blitz in. I still think, as I said, it will be a good vehicle. The issues are Wargaming's probably going to go back to the crates, and with the crates, I think it was a 2 or 3% drop chance to what I'm aware, and no charms. Now, charms are the only way, and I tell Wargaming, well, I don't really tell them, but I say in my videos every single time, and if I could tell Wargaming, I would tell them this to their face, but charms are the only way I accept crates as being at least a fair term, because the whole point of gambling is kind of unfair in my opinion. The fact that somebody can get a tank like the Emil for, let's say, $5 getting one crate, where a player like me or somebody else might take $100 to $200 and not even get the tank. That is, first of all, unfair in my opinion for people, that somebody can get something cheaper than the other person. The price should be a fixed price, but not only that. The second thing I have, the issue with the crates Wargaming has been going back to, is that they were doing charms for quite a bit of time. In fact, the Super Conqueror had charms, and that meant that even for a player like me, I think I opened up maybe $200 worth of Super Conqueror crates, and I never got the vehicle except I got enough charms for it, which gave me the tank guaranteed. So I feel Wargaming should make some sort of pixie dust or something like that for the Emil. That way, that if you opened up, let's say, I don't know, 20 containers, you got 20 charms that you needed, and then it would give you the tank guaranteed. That way, you have some sort of fallback, so people like me that want to make a video on this tank don't have to spend a fortune, or people that just want to play and collect don't have to spend a fortune trying to get these vehicles, because it's not a tier 10 vehicle. It's not like the AMX you can see in the background there. This is a tier 8 premium. It's crazy that a game can ask $200 for a tier 8 vehicle, one singular tank. If you were to play any other mobile game in the world, like Clash of Clans, $200 would get you pretty much everything you need in the game. Grand Theft Auto, even $200 gets you quite far, and you can easily earn money. You can't earn this tank for free. You know, it's not earnable. It's not like any other game. So personally, I wished Wargaming would, and I pray that they put this tank with charms, and I hope they continue charms in the future, because they've stopped, and it's really started to get me quite sad again. They have removed some of the things. I'm glad. They've nerfed the Vickers Light, which I think was a pro. I think they should have removed the missiles, which they have done. I've been fighting that ever since they came into the game, but I just pray that Wargaming puts charms on this vehicle so that people don't have to spend such a high price tag to get a decent vehicle. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Now, of course, I will be doing a breakdown on this tank when it comes out, of course, in the game as well. Now, I have no clue when that is. I would say within the next month or so, because I know Wargaming wants to make money on this vehicle. And I bet they really wanted to release it before the Emil 1 was nerfed. That way, you know, they could have really capitalized on the Emil 1 being OP, so a lot of people would have thought the Emil 1951 was OP, but I don't blame them on nerfing it. It definitely did need one. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Helps set the channel a crazy, crazy amount. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and be seeing you in the next one.